So converting into our standard form of a circle, which is our x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. Very likely to be an EOC question, so we want to make sure we get this right. So first and foremost, we are going to group our x's and our y's. You're going to put them in order. And remember from our original video, I'm a big fan of putting the first three steps together. So we're going to group our x and our y's. So x squared plus 28x. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in a blank. Then we're going to put our y's. So y squared, and that will just be plus y squared, plus 20y with a blank. I'm going to go ahead and move my constant, that positive 280, to the other side. So that's getting negative 280. And then we have two blanks to add. And this I just ran out of space. I'm just going to write them underneath. We know we're going to add them anyway, so put them over there. So you make sure you have a blank for your x and your y value. Now we're going to complete the square. So that means we're going to take our b value, divide by 2, then square it. So 28 divided by 2 is 14. And then we're going to square that number. So 14 squared is 196. So I'm going to add 196 to both sides. Plus 196. And it's going to go in the blue one. So plus 196. Then we're going to do the same thing, if you want to put it right here, for our y values. So our 20, which our b value is 20, divided by 2, which is 10. Then we're going to square it. It's going to be 100. So then we're going to add 100 as well to the y equation. And when I say to the y equation, we're looking at this as 1 quadratic, 2 quadratic, because in the next step after completing the square is to quote-unquote factor. But remember, we discussed a cheat. If you write everything out, this positive 14 and positive 10, you basically already factored. So it's going to be x plus 14, because that's a positive 14, squared, plus y plus 10 squared equals. And then our radius squared is the combination of all three of these numbers. So we're going to add them together to get radius squared. Now, that's not the radius, it's radius squared. It's the actual number that you are going to use for the equation. So negative 280 plus 196 plus 100 gives me 16. So we have now converted it. From here, without telling you to convert it first, they're going to ask you possibly for the radius. Remember, this is radius squared, so that means we're going to take the square root of 16, so the radius is going to be 4. The diameter is 4 times 2, which is going to be 8. And then our center, remember, it's x minus h and y minus k, so it's going to be a negative 14, negative 10, because it's the opposite. That's what turned them into plus. Okay, we're going to do another one. So again, we're going to group our x's first. So x squared plus 12x blank. Group our y's. Y squared. There is nothing else, so we'll just put a blank. Move our constant, so the number without a variable, to the other side. It's a negative 13, so it's going to become a positive 13 on the other side. And then we need blank and another blank. So just to keep the same pattern all the way through, we're now going to take our b value for x, so 12, divide by 2. Then we're going to square it, which is going to be 6 squared, gives me 36. So we're going to add 36 to both of our pink dashes, or our pink blanks. So 36 and 36, and that's a positive. Now, this time, y does not have a b value. So just to keep the pattern, we could do 0 divided by 2, which is 0. We're going to square it, is 0. So we really don't need these blanks this time because there's not a b value. So we're going to write our equation. So 6, so it's going to be x plus 6, because it's a positive, squared, plus, it's a 0. So y squared, or y plus 0, is just y squared, equals 13 plus 36, which is going to give me 49. Now pause the video and answer a couple questions. What's the radius? What's the diameter? And what's the center? Radius is going to be 7. Diameter is 14. And center is -6 because that's a positive, and then 0 because there's nothing there with the y. All right, guys, there you go. That's practice. This is an EOC question. Keep it up. Ask questions. Come see me if you need more help.